Hi, this is Roger Helliebrook, and welcome to Ocean Navigator's series on boat wiring. Okay, today we're going to talk about boat wiring and conductors, cable, wire, and the two enemies on boats, which are of course vibration and corrosion, and why we pick the wire we do. So let's start with the type of wire. And here we have a multi-stranded type 3 wire. We don't use solid cable like you'd use in the house because vibration is the enemy. And you can see from the color that this wire is tinned so that it has a coating on it that's corrosion resistant. Now, how do we know what we've got? Well, we select wire for its size, its ability to carry current in amps. So the bigger the wire, obviously the more ampacity, as we call it. So we go from the minimum allowed on a boat outside of a panel, and that's 16 gauge, and you can see that's pretty small, and we carry on up to large cables that you may use to hook up a battery, a windlass, a bow thruster, all the way up to what we call 4-aught. Now, you can see that they've ganged conductors together here. This is for shore power, and this is the color code that we use for AC power coming aboard. Black is hot, white is neutral, green is grounding, and you can see a smaller one that you may run for a receptacle or a small appliance in the same color code. Here's our most common wire that we use aboard the boat, and this is yellow and red. Red, obviously, everybody knows, is typically the hot wire. Yellow is the new color code for ground wires, or the negative return. Because with DC, it's there and back again, so that we have to have designated colors. Now, we've got a big selection of colors here, and our ABYC manual will give you specific color codes for certain wiring. And we have purple that we typically use for ignition, green for grounding, yellow for negative, and red for hot. Okay, so American wire gauge runs counter. The larger the number, the smaller the wire. And we run from 22 gauge for electronics and very small things behind a panel, LED indicator lights, that sort of thing, all the way up to 4-aught for the largest starting cables for big engines. We pick our wire size, our conductor of electricity, based on the voltage of the wire and how many amps, the current that is going to run through the wire. The more current, the bigger the wire to handle that. We call this ampacity, and there are charts for that in the American Boat and Yacht Council manual. Ampacity will vary, and we pick the wire based on its loading. If we have a critical thing, VHF radio, a bilge pump, we tend to do the voltage drop at less than 3%. And if we have a non-critical, cabin light, windlass, we'll pick the wire based on a 10% voltage drop.